Right, so let's now move on to part two, when Australia became a land of reward instead of a land of punishment. So what happened? Well, we've just talked about the wool, and to raise sheep you need shepherds. And shepherds were mostly convicts, and sometimes convicts found gold. But of course they were not going to say that they had found gold. But in fact they did. So it took quite a long time before the gold rush really took place. But, well, finding gold did change everything for Australia. So distance and the gold rush. Well, first, the American gold rush meant that Australia became a supply base for the American gold rush. Because, well, at the time there was no Panama Canal, no transcontinental railways, that's in the 1860s. So it meant that it was shorter to do Australia-California than to travel from New York to California. So basically, the Australian seaport were used to send food, prefabricated houses, and of course people. About 7,000 people from New Zealand and Australia migrated to California during the gold rush. So this is an important figure of the Australian gold rush, because it's called Hargraves, Hargraves. And well, he was trying to find gold in America, and he thought, oh, well, why not go to Australia? He knew how to find gold, and he explained to local people how to find gold. They did find gold, and well, he was considered by the government as the one having found the gold, and he received a huge amount of money for this. You can see here people trying to find gold. Right, so why was gold interesting for Australia? Well, first, it paid easily for the cost of transport to Europe. 1 ton, not told, okay, 1 ton of gold sold for £100,000. So this meant that transport only represented a small fraction of the value of the good. And the main issue, of course, was not transportation to Europe, but the inland transport. For instance, you see there the bullock teams, so it was very, very slow. Okay, that was the main impediment. The bullock teams, it was also very costly to bring the food from the seaport, even if it was only 150 kilometers. It was estimated, Victoria State estimated that, well, it was a colony, the colony of Victoria at the time estimated that it cost the gold diggers £3 million a year, okay, to get food from the seaports. And of course, this gold rush was a golden magnet. Okay. Yeah, you even had games being invented. Yes, it was the first, not really the first because the Aborigines were there, but it was after the arrival of the British. It was the first large arrival of Asian migrants mainly the Chinese. Okay, so about 40,000 Chinese who came for the gold rush. They were mostly under contract, and most of them returned home, and only a few stayed. About 4,000 stayed. There was, of course, a big problem with racism. You have the exact figures there. Another element that changed a lot of things was the repeal of the Navigation Act. So the Navigation Acts meant that you needed to have a British crew, British owner, British ship, or a ship built in the shipyard of the British Empire to stop and trade with the British colony. And it also meant that Australian products had to be shipped to British possessions only. They could not be shipped elsewhere. So that was repealed in 1849. Okay, and Blaney said that the Navigation Acts probably tended to increase Australia's isolation and to increase the cost of that isolation.